Hello everybody. Today I want to talk about past lives, about lessons. When we do the debrief after we die, when we pass to the other side, we sit with our guardians and they talk about the good things we did, and we talk about all the things we ignored, things we didn't do, the lessons we avoided, and then we have to do those lessons again. So any lesson we don't do this life will come into the next life. Be aware of that. It's probably better to do it here. The energy is dense and it's probably a little hard down here, but it's still better than having to spend the whole next life doing the lesson. Most of these lessons will be on different levels for different people. If you're working in the spiritual area and you've worked on ascending, your lesson will be quite high. It'll be lessons in love, forgiveness, tolerance, conditional, unconditional love. It'll be on quite a high level, and you would have set yourself quite challenging individuals to play out that lesson. Some of the other lessons are not so hard to do, and so they're not going to be something that's going to be a big thing for the next life. An example of this is somebody I know who did not do their lesson. They were supposed to learn what love is and to stop being abusive and to be kind and not come from control and power. However, till their last breath, they still hadn't learned the lesson. I was speaking to a psychic friend of mine, and he picked up that this person would now come back and have to do the lesson again. This time, however, they would be in the receiving end of being abused, and that will be their lesson because they wouldn't learn it, they didn't learn it, so they'd set this up to learn the lesson, to feel what it feels like, and to maybe have a little bit more empathy for their former victim. The lessons are not set by God, even our angels and our guardians. It's set by us. It's what we want to do in our spiritual growth. Most of the lessons will be obvious to you because you will know you're like that. If you're having a lesson to stop being controlling, you'll know that you just completely control everything and you keep attracting controllers also into your life. If your lesson, however, is to learn how to not be controlled, you will also attract controllers into your life. These lessons are set up by us so we can stand up and learn how to stand up to things. For example, in my life, it was stand up to any kind of abuse and say no. It took a long time, many decades, but I think I've nearly done it. So that is one of my lessons. I had to learn to do that and to come from unconditional love and to forgive. Forgiveness is a huge past life lesson, and it will come to you in all different sorts of ways, and you'll just have to work out whether you're ready to do that now. There's huge ascension and there's great growth when you forgive, because some people are very difficult to forgive. Around you, you will also see that you will have lessons with other people. There'll actually be two lessons there, one for you, one for them. They can be the same lesson or they can be opposite lessons. And if you look around, you'll see that, for example, if you've got a very controlling mother, you will find that you're having a control lesson with her and how to respond to her and not become controlling like her, which is quite hard because controllers will often set you up to play that control game. So learning to detach from the control, not being controlled and manipulated, is probably your lesson. Her lesson could be not being controlling. She may or may not learn that. Controllers get very frustrated when we don't do what they want, so that they find other manipulative, controlling ways to come at us. The lessons are also in charity, in faith, in hope, in our belief systems. We might be challenged in some ways. For example, if we have a racial belief, there might be people come into our family and marry into our family which really challenge that, or sexuality as well, people's sexuality, and then we find out that our daughter or son has chosen a different path to what we thought. Then we really have to learn those lessons in tolerance and non-judgment and acceptance of others and unconditional love. I've seen cases where these lessons have been brought forward. I think that we always have to realise that we've made these lessons for ourselves. That's the most important thing I'm talking to you about today. You can't blame anyone else or be cross with them or angry because, this has been done to you. It wasn't. You set it up and you should do it. You'll often get the lesson in many different ways. It'll come back in or come back in. So if you don't quite get it right, you're given another opportunity to do it with another person or another situation. When you see the repeat, know that you're doing the lesson again. And it's really important then to make sure that you have a really good look so you don't just spend your whole life doing the same lesson. I can see people being given opportunities all the time by situations to do it differently, and they keep choosing the old way. However, I know that eventually in one of the lives they might get it, maybe not this one. And I don't have a harshness around it because some lessons for some people are very, very difficult. They do not want to do it and they just jackknife and will not do it. You will see this happening around you and you'll know it. I think it's great to do the lessons. I mean, I came down here to grow, to ascend, to move on, to become a better person. So from my point of view, I will do them, however difficult they have been. And some of mine have been difficult, and I'm sure some of yours are continuing to still be difficult. However, a lesson is to be learned. And once we learn it, then we don't really have to do it again. I've learned lessons that took a while and I had to have several goes at it, I suppose, with different people. However, eventually I got to a place with many people that now I'm okay with that. Past life lessons are a way also to clear some karma between people. So if you learn the lesson, then you can clear karma. Our greatest lesson is to learn to love people unconditionally and not punish them. I think that really sums it all up, and to be kind to other people. However, for many souls, that is a lesson which repeats quite often. I think because power and control come into it, and once you have power and control, there lacks compassion, and anything that has anything with punishment in it lacks compassion. There's no feeling, you're not coming from the heart. Enjoy doing your lessons in the sense that you're not having to do them the next life, and that's why I suggest if you're faced with some big lessons, just do it. You'll be rewarded in many ways. There often are rewards from this. Maybe no longer do you attract controllers or abuse in your life. Maybe you learn to be tolerant of others, and that makes your social life easier. There are many rewards from doing a lesson. It's not just that you do it, there's many good outcomes from doing it. When you see something difficult coming up and you don't want to do it, I would say that's the lesson. That's how I know, because I don't want to do it. I know I don't want to do that. And all my humans carrying on and complaining about they don't want to do it. But on a soul level, I just know this is a lesson and I'm supposed to do it and I'm supposed to step up. So have a good week and lots of love and light to you, and have fun doing your lessons.